Okay, let's talk about the
your conspiracy theory.
Yeah, well, I made a video with Tim Canova. We only released it on Rokfin. We went into detail about the Texas lawsuits. An hour later, it was dropped. It was thrown out.
They threw it out.
It was gone. It was
they threw it out because there's no evidence.
Well, no, it's lack of standing. Okay, now.
So what does that mean?
The Texas Supreme Court, right?
The United States Supreme Court.
Really?
United States Supreme Court. And we're going to get into ddetails in there because I got some memes in there because all we can do is laugh about it because the three justices that Donald Trump put in the court didn't even side with him. And it was only Alito and Thomas that wanted to really take up the case. But right here is the Yahoo and we're going to talk about this because it's so disheartening when I heard it was thrown out for lack of standing.
Well, they obviously didn't side with him because it's a conspiracy theory and it's not real. That's obviously why they didn't side with him. I mean, that's what people are saying, right? It's even the judges Trump put aren't siding with him. That's because there's nothing there. There's no evidence possibly. Show me your evidence. Come on. Show me your evidence.
And that's the thing that really sucked about this because it just gave me nightmares about what happened with the Democratic DNC lawsuit as well. The lack of standing, meaning that they can't even go into the evidence. They can't judge it based upon its merits. They're saying there's a lack of standing, meaning it doesn't qualify to take it up and litigate on it because it doesn't have enough weight behind it. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what lack of standing is. And eventually, when it came to the DNC lawsuit, that's what they said because the DNC pretty much said, well, technically they have the right to pick who they want because we're a corporation. Therefore, it was thrown out because of lack of standing because technically they did have the right to do that is what they're saying, even though they lied about their charter. But it says a last-ditch effort to throw the election to Trump squashed by the Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court on Friday rejected a lawsuit brought by the state of Texas that sought to overturn the results of the presidential election by invalidating millions of votes in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin. The lawsuit was joined by 17 states. It actually made it up to 18 states. Now, you think about this as attorney generals. This is the top of the friggin' food chain as far as, litigators and lawmakers joining this lawsuit. The president won in 2020, asked the court to allow legislations in both battleground states where Trump campaign is contesting the results to appoint new electors, but the court declined to take up the case, delivering what may be the death knell to Trump's re-election fight. And it might be, I don't know. In a decision issued Friday evening, the court denied the complaint of a lack of standing, meaning Texas did not succeed in showing that it has vested interest in the matter in which other states conduct elections, okay? So pretty much what they're saying is that Texas doesn't have a right to say that, despite it being a national election, that they can say that, hey, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, what they did was wrong. What they did was unconstitutional, and it affected our voting system because it was a national election. The court said no. They said, get out of here. Sorry. They don't want to do it. But we also talk about this now. It's the fact that a lot of judges, they don't want to get involved in this. They're petrified to get involved in elections. They don't want to overturn anything. They don't want to be a part of it. And here's a tweet from Jared A.I. Beck. I traced it back to make sure it was on his other thing. Lack of standing, just like the DNC lawsuit was dismissed for lack of standing, right? Everyone lacks standing. And it's just a shame, fam, because it gave me just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a nauseating feeling about remembering what happened with the DNC lawsuit. And I put it up here. The court concedes the DNC had the right to rig primaries against Bernie Sanders. So once again, the same tactics they're using here now against Trump, they already used against Democrats. They pretty much said that it was a lack of standing, that the DNC had the right to rig their own primaries, despite lying about their charters, making you feel that you had a democratic process in which you donated money to one candidate over the other. That's what this thing, it made me nauseous. It made me just disgusted. I just couldn't, I was demoralized. And the funny thing is that the Trump SCOTUS picks, which remember all these people were saying, Donald Trump is putting all these people here on the Supreme Court. He's rushing through ACB because he wants to use it to help them with the election. So when they kick it to the Supreme Court, right, the Supreme Court has now got 3 people from Donald Trump that's going to overturn the election for him. Not true.
But
Did
I
not
thought he was
happen.
staging a coup. I thought he was just going to impose himself like a tyrant that he is.
It's not the
You
case.
swallowed the propaganda. Trump was never going to do that. We told you that here. These people, it's the establishment versus the oligarchy, and they don't have use. I'm not saying Trump is anti-establishment, but they can't control him as much. They don't have use for him. These people aren't even on the right. They're not going to fight for election integrity. This is what I've been saying. They don't want the truth. These people on both ends, they don't want the truth.
The establishment does not
because
want the truth.
They're the establishment.
Yeah.
Both on the Democratic side and the Republican side, there's an establishment that doesn't want the truth because it's the same fucking oligarchy, and they overturn elections, they overthrow countries, they do all these things. Do you really think that they're going to allow this to happen? Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, it's so easy to come back and say, well, they threw it out because there's no evidence. But it's like, we can't see into the evidence. Like, we experience it here in California. Our progressive friends, they can't see into the ballot box. They can't have a real audit. Yeah. So you can't say that there's no evidence. But we don't hold the wheels of power here. They do. They hold the levers of power.
Yeah.
So
the shame about it is that people are happy and satisfied with this result right here, but they don't realize it's the same mechanism. And that's why I kind of brought up the DNC lawsuit and how I was just mortified yesterday. I felt so defeated. It's like, what does it mean to talk about a Green New Deal or Medicare for all or ending these regime change wars with the beginning process is making sure that we get the representatives in that's going to represent our populist ideas. And I'm saying populist right now. I'm not even saying progressive because I'm trying to encourage people even on the other side of the aisle to understand the populist ideas. What the populace wants will never happen because if they control it at this level and then your lawmakers are selected, they're not elected, we won't get anything. It doesn't make a difference what you're arguing for. When a person like Joe Biden can get in there, once again, you know what I'm saying?
The guy who was in 5th place.
Yeah, was told to drop out, which there's so much shit. And once again, all we should be fighting for, all of us, is transparency.
Yep.
Johnny said it a million times. We're just fighting for transparency. Open up the black box. Let us see the ballots. Let's count them in public, on camera, by hand right now to check what the machines are doing, right? To make sure that we know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that all people are just like, they had a fun time with this yesterday, fam, on Twitter. All the Trump haters.
I'm sure.
So I had to go out there. It says all three Trump Supreme Court appointees declined Texas election case. All three of President Trump's Supreme Court appointees, Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, ABC, joined Chief Justice John Roberts and the three liberal justices in declining. So I had to get to memes there because the memes were so funny yesterday. I figured we'd have to have a laugh. We've had a serious show. So let's take a look at some of the best memes on Twitter. The first one I like, okay? E2 Brute. Donald Trump going, oh my God, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, ACB, you are betrayed
There is
me.
A little bit of karmic justice in this, I gotta say.
I know, right?
I gotta say, you put him in there.
You did. And Jared Beck also did put, maybe if you put justices that really cared about election integrity more than anything, therefore we would seriously start to get this situation straight. Not just these other abortion and all this other bullshit. This one is my next. I love this one. This is like, you see when he's rolling up, this is when Donald Trump rolling up on Kavanaugh. It's like, don't look to the right, man. Just keep your head straight. Don't look. And he's just staring at him going, look at me, you son of a bitch. Look at me. I love this meme. Look at dude keeping his head straight. He's like, he's blinking.
People do that though. They stare at you from their car, and it's really weird. I don't look at them either.
Hey, look, we found three of Trump's Supreme Court nominees hanging out last night. Oh, there they are.
Oh my God!
Of course, it's Kavanaugh and ACB.
Feel bad for Trump.
I know. People just had such a fun time with this one. This is Trump. We had to do a Godfather one. This is him confronting Kavanaugh. Hey, you broke my heart, Fredo. You broke my heart.
I mean,
sorry, I don't know why these are so funny, but because so many people, so many of the Democrats, he's putting them in there. He's going to overturn the election. Bullshit. None of them even sided with him.
They're not going to side with him.
And of course, we have to have a Star Wars meme. It is treason then. So Trump looking at
like
Gorgeous Kavanaugh and ACB. You know what I'm saying?
I like this one.
Oh.
I mean,
Ah.
oh well. I
Wow.
mean, you reap what you sow.
Oh,
Nobody cares about election integrity except the people who want transparency. These people in power, that's it. They're not going to do it. They would expose themselves on both sides of the aisle. Democrats and Republicans alike would expose themselves if we had an actual uncovering of everything wrong in our elections. And it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just going to happen.
There's a big rally down in not Texas, in DC today.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people are down there, supposedly.
Yeah.
It was pretty big. I peeked at it this morning when I got up.
Is that
a couple thousand people. That's
Jason
where Burmis is at,
okay.
and Corinne Forever. And
it's a rally for what? I'm sorry?
It's a Stop the Steal rally.
Oh,
it's pretty much the Stop the Steal rally. They had a bunch of Trump people out there, whatnot, protesting. So we'll see. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, at least people are getting out there for election integrity. But I mean, again, like, you know how I feel. Some of the way they framed it was completely.
Yeah, I mean, it was so dumb. I mean, and it's some of the whole thing. The thing I think, not even so much the ghost of Hugo Chavez past pissed me off, was the fact that, even Giuliani, hey, Stunad, if you don't think that these immigrants are voting, it's like immigrants don't vote in the election that much. If it happens, it's so minuscule. You don't know anything about it. We know, undocumented workers out here, they're not going to go and expose themselves and do something. Yeah. It's just stupid to go down those avenues. And they couldn't get away from their own ideology sometimes. And it really did. It wasn't for the benefit of the president to do that, or wasn't for the benefit of people who want election integrity. You shouldn't have mentioned those things. You did mention a lot of other things that weren't mentioned by the right before that are finally out there. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people on the right, like the EIP, the Election Integrity Project, they always say this is a nonpartisan issue. They are more right-wingers, but they say it's a nonpartisan issue. And they were like one of the only ones on the case when they start talking about, hey, we need transparency. We need audits. We need to eliminate ballot harvesting. You know what I'm saying? How important was ballot harvesting right now? Because now you have all these ballots that go out there, right? A bunch of them get mailed out from your mailing company, let's say K&H for Los Angeles, for that reason. Whether you like it or not, the poll booklets are overloaded. There are people who have moved on, people who have died. So all those ballots that got mailed out come back to where they're going from. I can just hand them to you and go, fam, here's 20,000 ballots. Just walk them in. Fill them out however you want and just walk them in, because ballot harvesting is legal and we have no integrity at the ballot box. It's stupid. Now, I know and the reasons why they were able to create these problems, fam, that's what these long lines were about. That's what it was about, that they made it such a process that takes so long. It's so tedious. It takes up your whole day that if you have an opportunity to just mail it in and I don't have to wait 7 hours, you're going to agree to that right away.
Right.
So it's like one whole friggin' type of plan that worked together to meet where it's at. And right now, we have uncertainty across the board. No matter what happens, all those people who voted for Trump are not going to believe in these results. We have not verified these results. I still don't believe in the 2016 primary. I still don't believe in the 2020 primary results. I'm saying across the board, we have no transparency. We have no audits. I mean, and it was against the law to shut these people out to scrutinize these signatures. We've seen tape of them going, I want all the Republicans out of the room. I mean, like, you just incriminated yourself. So when people say, where's the evidence? That's evidence right there to look and see if we can find the proof inside what's going on.
Not to mention the numbers and everything else. And like, sure, let's laugh at Trump. And this is kind of funny and karmic in a way. And it sucks too in another way. But just wait until your favorite progressives run. Just wait. Just wait, because we haven't fixed our election system. So go ahead. By all means, pretend that election fraud doesn't exist. Well, I'll see you in 2022. I'll see you in 2024 when you latch on to the next Democrat that runs and you think they're going to save you in this process. I'll see you then and see if you care about election integrity then. Because until we actually fix elections, it doesn't matter how many parties you want to create. It doesn't matter how all these things you want. We're not going to get it because we don't have any power. We don't have any power to actually elect people we want. Yeah, and it's as simple as that.
And it sucks that the fact that you make the trade. Okay, so if we do let's say we do a forensic audit across the board, here, and there and stuff. All right, so Trump wins, but what about all those progressives that got cheated from the establishment that would have won too? You'll get them. You'll get the Maria Estradas. You'll get the Angelica Duenas. You'll get the Shahid Batarj. You'll get these people in office too as well. You'll get more power because they cheat those elections too, especially those elections. Hasn't the establishment showed you that they are more scared of social democrats than they are of the Republicans? Have they not showed you that they are more scared of Bernie Sanders than they are of Donald Trump? How do they not show you that? That's who we're fighting for here. I'm not fighting for Donald effing Trump here. I'm fighting for fair elections because all these down ballot candidates that want to bring real populist change and know their districts well, that want to make the change, are getting shut out. So the big establishment bigwigs like Tony Cardenas and Brad Sherman that can always vote for the Patriot Act, that always can vote for other shit that you don't pay attention to. I don't even know where to go on this stuff.
Yeah.
Did you know that that apparently Texas and other states might succeed?
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard about that.
Some fucking donkey again. Just shut up.
Yeah, following the Supreme Court's dismissal of Texas lawsuit, Texas GOP chairman released a statement calling for states to secede.
I know, he's an idiot. I saw this yesterday. I don't pay attention to this stuff.
That's interesting, though.
Because I know Alan West.
Of
he's
the
from Florida,
Party of Texas.
Yeah, he's originally from Florida.
He says the Supreme Court in tossing the Texas lawsuit that was joined by 17 states and 106 U.S. congressmen has decreed that a state can take unconstitutional actions and violate its own election law, resulting in damaging effects on other states that abide by the law. While the guilty state suffers no consequences, this decision establishes a precedent that states can violate the U.S. Constitution and not be held accountable. This decision will have far-reaching ramifications for the future of our constitutional republic. Perhaps law-abiding states should bond together and form a union of states that will abide by the Constitution. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And we're gearing towards a civil war because we're not paying attention to the truth here. That's all. Like, that's what the system wants to push. They want to push a civil war. They want to push a race war. They want to push all these things.
Yeah. This is not even half as exciting, Johnny, if you hear about the military options that are still left on the table, supposedly that's going on. That they have the servers, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Which we do believe they have the servers, but they're saying there's other information. And really, to tell you the truth, when you start looking at a lot of stuff, it gets scary. You don't know what to believe, but I'm just not going to go in there and stuff because it's the same thing. It's like, oh, Democrats just want open borders and communism. No, they want a fair immigration. They want fair immigration policy, and they want workers' rights. They don't want to freaking start going full-blown Mao over here. They want workers' rights. That's why all the card-carrying Democrats and the people like Fred Hampton were about communism. It's not about the ideology of the authoritarianism and one control, one party. That's it. It's about workers getting rights. And so if you say, well, communism's bad and stuff, well, you have a problem. Because your capitalism is merged into crony capitalism, and now workers get nothing. 45% of the homeless people have jobs.
I don't
turn
him
issue.
into a commie over here.
Jesus. I'm not anything. I'm an independent thinker across the board. I want the best for everything. But when people on the right say this shit, it just drives me crazy. No, they don't want communism. They want workers' rights. What's your answer to that?
When they say that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are communists,
Jesus
that
Christ.
Drives me insane because they're Republicans.
They're global capitalists. They're global capitalists.
Yeah, just like a lot of the people on the right too are also capitalists. They're just more national capitalists. A lot of them. You're still.
Well, you know what? At this point, I'll take national capitalism over global capitalism if it's going to say that you're going to come home and take care of our workers. I'll do anything at this friggin' point.
Capitalism and workers isn't working.
I know. It's crony capitalism. It turns into crony capitalism, so you have to fix it out. When you have 650,000 homeless people on the streets and almost 1 out of every 5 is a veteran, you have a problem. Your capitalist argument isn't working.
When people are killing themselves because they don't see a way out of losing their businesses, of losing their houses, of getting, removed from their homes forcefully, when they don't see a way out of all this debt that they've accrued, all their savings are gone, and they think they're figuring out how to end their life because they can't take anymore. The system is fucked and it's not working for anybody, and you know that you're not going to vote your way out of that. There's no voting your way out of that in a system where we can't even rely on our elections. So what is there to do? The only thing to do right now is push direct actions at these politicians, which is what I did that yesterday, because that is the only thing we can do. There is no way to vote out what is happening here. It is fascism in a different, its form. We're seeing Silicon Valley, we're seeing the CIA, we're seeing the military industrial complex, we're seeing all of these people combined, and now they get to dictate your elections flat out right in front of you. And they gaslight you into thinking it's a conspiracy theory. And then if you buy into that, well, then there you go.
Yeah,
welcome. Welcome to the new prison.
I'm getting a little bit upset. I said yesterday, I can't wait for a progressive to run and get cheated in another election. I'm going to laugh in your face. I'm not going to laugh in your face because it is a sad thing, because at the end of the day, I want clean, fair, and transparent elections. But this is what you're not getting. If you're going to sit here and say this is okay, and you're going to make stupid comments, not mentioning any names out there, and say, well, the Democrats just cheated Bernie. They didn't treat Donald Trump. Like, what makes you think they had this coming to Jesus moment in the election? Why wouldn't they cheat Donald Trump? They'll cheat anything. They think the ends justify the means, and they want to put all their cronies back in there, and they're doing it.
The system will manipulate elections, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, whatever is in power at that time, whatever is the establishment hold, the establishment puppet, that's what will happen. That's it. It's a bipartisan practice, you guys.
It is. It's the establishment.
Period.
Donald Trump. Barack Obama in 2008. When he won his record friggin' election, he won 800 and something odd counties. Okay, Joe Biden gets 10 million more votes than Barack Obama did, and he only wins 519 counties because they had avalanche dumps in these areas in the middle of the night. Where's the water leak, everybody? Where's the water leak that they shut down and they kick everybody out? You can't see that they're doing this, and it's sad that people help cheat this shit because they thought the ends justify the means. No, they don't.
As long as we get Trump out, everything will be fine. Well, now look where we're at.
There you go.
Even if you want to ignore that, look where we're at right now with Joe Biden.
Trump is not my champion at all by any means. But this is man versus the goddamn machine here, and you're putting this donkey in right now, and now what's going to happen? We're going to spend all this time. Now the left is going to spend all this time defending a guy who doesn't even have the same ideology as them. He doesn't even have the same plan as them, who said he'll veto Medicare for all.
The sad part is we could have avoided all of this if Bernie Sanders had fought for election integrity in 2016. And the sad part is he literally won both primaries, in my opinion. He won both primaries.
And he didn't fight. He didn't fight.